Good morning, Chilliefalls here with Chillie's Cruises with travel and cruise industry news for the 14th day of September 2019. Welcome to all of you that are up bright and early if you're in the Eastern time zone as I am. But welcome to the show. If you're new to this channel, and we've had some new subscribers, we're up to 1,510 subscribers as of this morning. Thank you all for that. And of course, welcome aboard. We do these shows 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at this time, where we talk about cruise and travel industry news. Not specifically about cruise ships, but it is weighted heavily on cruises and anything else that looks interesting in the travel space. I guess it's a top story this morning is Tropical Storm Humberto. It became that during the night instead of, whatever it was, number 9. These names, business, and it's silly, but it became a tropical storm during the night. However, it has taken a significant right-hand turn and is no longer going to affect the coast of Florida as far as tropical storm goes. Those warnings have now all been canceled. It is expected to strengthen as it's going over warmer water again and become a hurricane by Sunday or Monday, but it's not at this time supposed to pose any threat to the United States. It is expected, however, to brush the northwestern sections of the Bahamas that were so hard hit. So it could bring a little bit of weather to Great Abaco and to Grand Bahama Islands. But it is not expected to be damaging. So they're liable to get some more weather today and tomorrow, and this sucker is just going to curve off into the ocean. At one time they were thinking it might head for Bermuda, but now it doesn't even look like it's even going to do that. So tropical storm, and probably will be Hurricane Humberto, will not really be a major force in the weather world. Thank goodness. Speaking of the weather world, most of you know I'm going on a cruise the end of this month, Norwegian cruise, and one of the stops was Freeport, which I was looking forward to. As in all my cruises, all these years, I've never been to Freeport. Well, needless to say, officially got word yesterday, I think it was, that Freeport is now scratched on the agenda, on the itinerary, and it's just going to be a day at sea. So they're not even going to go into one of the other Bahamian ports, which I'm sorry about that. I would love to have gone to another one of the ports on that cruise instead of Freeport. But anyway, it's now official that they are not going into Freeport, and I didn't expect it. All right, we got a couple small stories to point out. Most of these have been reported elsewhere. They're not new hot stories. They're things that's been on my desk for a couple days, and I have not gotten to them and wanted to make mention of them. The state of Alaska this week fined Holland America 17 grand for dumping untreated gray water from one of its cruise ships. This was reportedly from the Westerdam while it was visiting a national park a year ago, September 11th, 2018, when a crew member illegally discharged gray waters. Details of the dumping were contained in the notice of violation. I'm sorry, folks. And things like this, when you go to cruise lines that they screwed up, you need to smack them. $17,000 doesn't seem like much of a fine for dumping 22,500 gallons of crap into our water system. Now, I know, and again, I'm not making political statements because I know the whole water quality business has now been thrown out the window, but I'm sorry. You just got to do better than that. Holland America and all the cruise lines. You just don't do it. You need to get your act better and cut that crap out, even if politically it's not the in thing to do right now. Again, I'm not making a political statement, folks. I'm just going from the heart on this one. I hate it. I hate the whole issue that water quality has not become important to certain members, certain people in politics today. And my answer to them is, okay, you want to allow dumping of whatever into our waterways? Let's put your granddaughter or grandson on that water and have them drink it, and then see if you might change your mind a little bit. That's just my feelings. I feel the same way about the cruise lines. They need to do better than to dump crap in the oceans. We have enough environmental problems in the cruise industry as it is. Okay, enough of a rant this morning. I didn't really plan on ranting that much. MSC has announced that the Armonia will be home-based in Tampa. And that's awesome. Starting in 2021, I think maybe it's November for the season of November to April, November 2020 through April of 2021. Then I believe it's going to have some longer sailings during the summer. But anyway, the Armonia will be based in Tampa. Good move. This will be a new cruise line for the Tampa area. MSC is the fastest growing cruise line in the world right now. Of course, it's nowhere near as big as Carnival and some of the others, but it's getting there. We've had several ships in our hemisphere the last few years, and they've been extremely popular. It's a little different type of cruising, folks. The European style, Italian style of cruising is a little different than you're used to on Carnival and Royal Caribbean and Holland American and Norwegian. But everybody that's been, and I have not been on an MSC ship yet. I hope to do that later this year or early next year, maybe even the Armonia. That'd be cool because I like going to Tampa. But anyway, they're starting off with 4 and 5 days trips, the normal itineraries out of Tampa, going to Key West, Cozumel, Costa Maya, Progreso. This one will also be going to, they'll be using MSC's new island, which is set to open later this year, Ocean Key, the MSC Marine Reserve. And then there'll be some longer ones later on. Anyway, folks, I do not have at this point any of the Armonia sailings from Tampa on the F&C Travel website, but it is next on my agenda. I've got a ball game today, so maybe tomorrow or Monday I'll get to getting a couple of the Armonia sailings from Tampa up on the website. That's one of the next important things I need to get done on the website. So anyway, several people are talking about this already. And if you're interested in jumping on it before I get a chance to get it up and have all the information, go to my buddy at any one of the good cruise folks. I try not to point you in a direction on that, but anyway, take a look at it. Armonia is a nice ship from what I've been able to tell. All right, moving on. The new Royal Caribbean Odyssey of the Sea, which is one of the new big dudes, will sail from her home port of Port Everglades in Fort Lauderdale starting in November of 2020. So that's a little more than a year from now. Odyssey's Caribbean cruise are now open for sale. Again, I do not have Odyssey on my website yet. That's not quite as important, simply because the Armonia to Tampa is happening sooner. So the Odyssey of the Seas, it'll be up there probably sometime within the next couple of weeks. I'll have that on the website. They're going to have 6 and 8 day Southern Caribbean cruises out of Port Everglades, which is Fort Lauderdale, of course. The Odyssey will be the second Quantum Ultra class ship, and it's going to have all the bells and whistles and activities and entertainment, like the ripcord doodle-lolly thing, that North Star, which I haven't been on the North Star observational capsule. That's one thing that I probably will do when I get the chance. They also are going to have the Seaplex, which is a trapeze school, a basketball court, a roller skating rink, and bumper cars. So a lot of entertainment on the Odyssey, and I don't know, it's 6,000 passengers, 5,000 pounds. It's a bunch of people. It's a big ship. So the Odyssey of the Sea will be in Fort Lauderdale. The other story this morning, and this one is one of those scratch my head things. When I read this, I read it a second time, and I'm thinking, my goodness, this doesn't make sense. And again, folks, I'm throwing this out simply because this is on the travel side of things, and I find this, I'm not sure if distasteful is the right word. It's just something about this bothers me. There is a planned cable car project in Jerusalem that would shuttle visitors to the Western Wall, the holiest site in the Jewish world, by 2021. The plan would bypass a Palestinian district of East Jerusalem and has horrified Israeli preservationists who fear Disneyfication of the city of Jerusalem. And again, folks, I don't make religious statements either, but this is one I tend to think my Jewish friends are right on this one. I find that to be disgusting. If you've ever been to Jerusalem, a part of the importance of Jerusalem to me, not stating not the religious significance side of it, but the history, the beauty, the architecture, the just having a sense of how things were, 2,000 years ago, or whatever the number is, and putting a cable car in there. I don't know. I don't like that one. I'm not in favor of that one at all. I guess I'm an all conservative, all poop on when it comes to that. But anyway, I was on the news this week, and I found that one terribly distasteful. Feel free to jump in on comments and your thoughts on that, and anything else. All right, that's one whole lot going on this week as far as news, when the weather situation looks like it's kind of petering out, which we're certainly glad that happened. Again, it's a busy weekend for the old fat guy. I've got my big red funnel cake shirt on. We're doing some funnel cakes and fresh squeezed lemonade. Hopefully, it's not going to be as hot as it was 2 Saturdays ago when Liberty played Syracuse. They're playing Buffalo tonight, and unless there's going to sneak in the Buffalo Bills, it's not going to be as big a crowd as it was for Syracuse. It's not going to be as hot, which typically means my lemonade sales will drop back some, and the funnel cake sales will come up some. But it's still going to be hot in the pregame 2 hours before the game starts. when all the fans get there. It's when I seem to be the busiest, and that's when it's the hottest part of the afternoon. So looking for another good game this afternoon. We are going to have good weather for the game. It's going to be in the 80s. It should be sunny. All of our rain and crappy weather yesterday is gone. So anyway, that's this afternoon. And I'll be back at it, of course, tomorrow and Monday, and do updates if anything major comes across my desk. If not, I will see everybody Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. on Travel and Cruise Industry News. I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. If you'd like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, my interview shows called Chillie Chats, and of course, our 3 days a week, we do travel and cruise industry news at 6 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Just hit the little subscribe button down there in the lower right-hand corner. Click on the bell notification, and you'll be notified when I go live and when I post a new video. So that's it for this morning. You guys have a great weekend. I'll see you on Tuesday if nothing happens between now and then. This is Chillie with Chillie's Cruises. Later, y'all.